Anyways, I have to promise to Liam that I won't embarrass him too much. Anyways, my name's Doug Reagan. I think you might have seen us up here before. I drew so us dads got together and I drew the short straw. So I'm starting off. So, if any of you know Liam, to encapsulate, we were told we had 5 minutes. If any of you know Liam, to encapsulate Liam's life in 5 minutes is an impossibility. So I've tried to look at this as trying to look at different chapters in his life, to try to kind of give you an idea of where he's come from, where he is now, and where he's going. So I made a few notes. I think we all did. Some of us made a book, and some of us just scrawled them down. We think this is kind of revenge because not many of the dads were involved in organizing, so we've been told, okay, you guys got to go up there and make this work. So here we go. So chapter 1 for Liam. This is kind of the pre-Jeremy years, or pre-Jeremy, or just when Jeremy was growing up. As you know, we lived in Vancouver, in Canada. We lived in, if you can imagine, a one-bedroom apartment. Now stop there. Imagine Liam in a one-bedroom apartment. This is really hard to imagine. So, some stories of him being in a one-bedroom apartment, we had hardwood floors. Imagine having hardwood floors and Liam in a one-bedroom apartment. We were not the most popular people, but we really began to learn from a very young age that Liam was rather active. And so we had these one things where he accidentally poured a whole thing of marbles across the floor, and the people down below, if you've ever lived below hardwood floors before, it was a racket. So we often had complaints about our son, and could we please have it a little bit quieter. So that was chapter 1, and we did many things, and Liam was very, very active at that age. Chapter 2 was moving into elementary school. We lived in this beautiful community. We went to a place called, they went to a school called Stony Creek. It was quite amazing. And Liam made many great friends, a young guy named Kai, and they did a lot of different things. But again, that continuing story of Liam as the young child moving on to Liam as the elementary school, yes, he was, again, very active. We had one story of him in class passing notes between his best friend and himself, and a teacher walking up and saying, "What's going on here?" and him going, "Is that a note?" And Liam looking, they both looked at one another. So Liam immediately crumpled the note up and ate it. And I mean, that's another theme that's been very consistent throughout Liam's life, is he's very loyal to his friends. I can go, and as he got older, so this is that was about grade 2, 3, I think, when he went up to grade 7 there. One of the times we had this, it was the Stanley Cup, or was it the Stanley Cup that was going on, and we were in the finals or something along those lines. And we were talking, and we were telling Liam, and Liam was going, "Yeah, I'm going to go to a friend's place." We're like, that's great. But we'd moved into the age of technology, and we're like, "Where are you, Liam?" He's like, "Well, I'm going to a friend's place." I don't know if we ever told you this, but he had an iPhone. And so we were tracking him as he was going to a friend's place, which was supposed to be 10 minutes away. He was on our metro stick, it's called the SkyTrain, and he was probably 10, 15 kilometers away by the time we figured out where he was. So we basically then had to phone a friend anyways, it was a long story, but anyways, Liam had a very broad range. He went many places. We've sometimes found him 10, 20, 30 kilometers. So that kind of moved into coming to Roslyn, a very different place. The place that you couldn't go 10, 20, 30 kilometers in any one direction. If you went maybe 1 or 2 into Village Market, you were lucky. And also imagine too that we were in a West Coast public school. Moving into Roslyn, I mean, it was challenging, I think, and I mention that as I know many of you have experienced the joys and maybe the not so joys of Liam's life in Roslyn. As you know, about halfway through, Liam decided to take a break. And I think it was, for Liam, his choice. I think it was good. And also, I think we could talk to Mr. Wolf about this. It was a bit more on Rosalind wanting to take a break from Liam. But honestly, it was an interesting time. And he took a year off, and that was very good. And he did excellent again. He was doing some homeschooling. But honestly, when we look back on it, it was probably one of the best things that could have ever happened, because when he came back, I think Liam just grew. And I think that's something that, again, we really thank the Roslyn teachers and you as the Roslyn community, because he was able to, he really grew from this young boy into this young man during that point in time. And it was quite impressive. It very much, when he came back, it was very much his decision. He wanted to come back. He really wanted to do experience it. And since that time, he's flourished, as I think many of you may know. So then we're kind of now into the closing chapter. Sorry, I'm just reading my notes here. I think what's been so exciting in working with being a parent, a dad of Liam, a very proud father of Liam over the last 2 or 3 years, is we've seen him excel in so many areas. In sports, we've seen him excel in Spanish. We were just talking to a Spanish teacher who's been just outstanding. And all these different, doing these AP courses. Again, we just thank the Roslyn community and the Roslyn School for helping him here. And what we've seen not only is him excel academically, but I think most importantly for Leanne and I, is that Liam has, and this is where I'm supposed to not tear up or something, this is where I think Liam has become a really good person. And I think that that's really what our goal has been from day one. And I think that we really thank Rosalind for that, and for you for helping us with that. So now we're on to the next stage. As many of you may know, he's moving on to McGill, which is my alma mater in Canada. I'm sure there's many active things he will do, many challenges and such. But I'm again a very proud father, and I think I speak on behalf of Leanne in the sense of being really proud parents on what he's done. I also, I can't actually stop without also thanking the Prestons. Wesley has been a second son in a way, as well as the Prestons who have helped us. As you know, we came into this school and we really had to translate what was going on, and it was very different for us. And I think that the Prestons have been incredible in their help that way. So again, thank you so much. Thank you for coming, and I hope I'm within my 5 minutes. And I'll pass it now on to the next dad.
Here's to Liam.